Howdy folks! It has been quite a while since I've sat down and chatted with you. I wanted to go over how we sleep trained Cooper. We sleep trained Cooper. First we did nighttime training. I read that it was probably a good idea to split up the two. Some people go cold turkey and they do nap training and nighttime training together. I was overwhelmed by that idea, so I decided to do nighttime training first. We were co-sleeping and he was feeding throughout the night, and it was causing me back pain and neck pain, and it no longer, I didn't feel it was beneficial for either one of us anymore to still be co-sleeping. So it just felt right. So I think we started a little bit before 5 months. He was just about to turn 5 months old, and just everything had led up to this being a perfect time for us to start to try nighttime training. Just for the record, guys, if you hear any weird like snoring in the background, it's not my husband, it is our English Bulldog Mush. She likes to make like cameos in every single one of my videos with her like insane snoring, so I apologize in advance for that. So what we did was I established a routine. I decided on what my routine would be with Cooper before we go to bed. They say that routine is key. It signals them to let them know that it is time to go to sleep, and well, let me tell you, it has worked. And I turn on his Hippo. He has a Hippo that makes noise. I'm gonna link it in the description box below. This thing has made like transitioning into his crib and sleep training like work. Like, I feel like without it, it would have taken so much longer, but this Hippo is a projector that's sound activated, so in the middle of the night I don't have to rush in there to turn it on. It turns on by itself and it soothes Cooper back to sleep. Cooper does not use any other form of like soothing. I don't feed to sleep, I don't use a pacifier, nothing. No lovey. The only thing is that Hippo and the sound machine, I guess you can say, are kind of like assisting him to sleep. I personally decided to do an extinction method of sleep training. That's where you pretty much just go all in. You put him in his crib and you choose a designated time to feed him throughout the night if you want to do night feeds, and then you don't go in there until that's it. Like, you just don't go in there until it's time to feed him, and they learn very quickly to put themselves to sleep. And now, before you think that I'm like some mean old monster, I know my baby, and I know when he's crying because he's annoyed, and I know when he's crying because he's in pain, and I know when he's crying when he just wants his mommy. When he just wants his mommy and he's in pain, I go in there without even a thought. That's it, like, I'm in there. When he's fussing or mad or cranky and going and, you know, yelling, he's just protesting sleep training. He's just protesting being in his crib and not having my breasts right there to soothe him and not being next to me. We got very lucky because he never actually cried to the point where he was in pain or throwing up or hysterical like you hear these stories when it comes to extinction sleep training. He was never like that, and I don't think I would probably ever let him get like that. The first night, everything took 1 hour. So he went from playing to, which I was pleasantly surprised because every other time he's been in his crib, he was not playing. He was like crying because he was mad that we were like putting him down briefly to go into his crib. But he would play. He was playing the first night for like 15-20 minutes, and then he was kind of yelling, like not even crying, just kind of like yelling and mad and like making noise, and then he was whimpering and fussing and getting upset, and then he probably cried for about 6 minutes and it felt like forever because he was crying for me. But I knew that I had done my research, and there's different types of cries when sleep training, and I just spoke about a little bit about them. And there's a peak cry, And after the peak cry, that's when they learn and they fall asleep. And he peak cried, and then that was it. He was sleeping. He, for the first time ever, had fallen asleep on his own in his crib. He had never fallen asleep on his own before, ever. And then on top of that, he was doing it in his crib, which he's never done before, obviously. And it was just like this moment of, like, I was crying. You guys actually saw it in the video, in like our vlogs, like our day-to-day vlogs. I was so emotional. It was such a good feeling to know I had Cooper for 5 months attached to my breast. He was a cluster feeder. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't do anything. I wasn't able to shower. I wasn't able to clean. I wasn't able to paint my toenails or my nails or pick up around the house or fold laundry or look at my clothes or try on a pair of pants or sew or videotape or vlog, or it was like so much. And I would do it all over again for the next baby. And I would do it all over again for Cooper. But to finally get that freedom to be able to go into the shower and not be rushing knowing that like he's gonna want to eat, or to go and cook food for myself, like it's just magical. And then the next night, everything took 20 minutes, not an hour. And the next night, he fell asleep without a peep, and that was it. And then the next night, he cried and he cried and he cried. And they say that you have that type of night after like a few great nights, and you just kind of have to stick with it. And I did, and he was good. And now he goes to sleep at like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and he wakes up around 1 a.m. So I have all that time to do whatever I want, guys, and it is beautiful. It is so wonderful. And let me tell you, when this started to consistently happen, I was a better mom. In the daytime, I was so much more involved in Cooper. I was happier and just like involved in our time together. I wasn't tired or trying to do things while caring for him. I had my time to do that at nighttime. I had my winding down time. And then I had my time to teach Cooper about the world and laugh with him and cuddle him and smile with him and enjoy him. And I almost wish, I know that the time that we chose to do sleep training was the time we were supposed to, because it just worked so perfectly. But I almost wish that it was sooner. I wish that the time had come where it was sooner, because I would have enjoyed motherhood so much more with him having a better sleep schedule. My husband works overnight, so that's another thing, guys. I was doing nighttime by myself. I was doing 4 p.m. to 7 a.m. entirely by myself. Perfect example. He cried one night. I put him down. He was doing that, like, that cry that makes moms' hearts kind of, you know. I don't care. I walked right into his crib, I picked him up, and I soothed him to sleep. I don't care what the book says, that I'm not allowed to soothe him to sleep. My baby was hurting and I'm going to help him. We're not in this to be mean to our babies, but we're kind of teaching them. We're supposed to teach them. We're not going to allow a child, because they don't want to sit in their car seat and they're crying, we're not going to take them out of the car seat while, you know, it's moving. For their safety and for their health and their well-being, we're going to keep them in the car seat until we're done. Like, and it's the same kind of outlook when you're sleep training them, you know. You're teaching them a lesson that they are going to use for the rest of their lives. Cooper is so much happier since we sleep trained. He's never overtired. He knows that he's going to get a nap in. I know he's going to get a nap in. My husband knows that. We are all happier working people. Yeah, so extinction worked wonders. It was amazing. Obviously, I am not a sleep consultant. I am not, like, don't you dare, guys, like, do this without research. I put a ton of research into doing this. I made sure that all my questions were answered before beginning. You owe it to your babies to do the research and to make sure that you're well read up on it. So please don't watch this video and think you can just jump right into it. That's not what this video is. This is me sharing my experience with sleep training with you and how I went about doing it, giving you sort of a foundation of keywords and phrases to look up so that you can learn how to sleep train as well, if that's something that you're interested in. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm sure it was a little boring, but I hope that it was informative. You guys are always amazing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you feel like it. We have a lot of videos on this channel. Keep on watching, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks, bye!